In the quiet town of Willow Creek, where the trees whispered secrets to the wind and the sun painted the sky in hues of gold, there lived an elderly woman named Margaret. At 75, Margaret embodied a spirit that was as vibrant as the flowers that adorned her garden. Her days were filled with simple pleasures, and her routine was a testament to the belief that life, no matter how many years one had lived, could be enriched with movement and joy. Every morning, as dawn broke and the world stirred from its slumber, Margaret would lace up her well-worn sneakers and step outside. The air was crisp, carrying the scent of dew-kissed grass and blooming wildflowers. With each step she took, Margaret felt the earth beneath her feet, grounding her in the present moment. Walking had become her ritual, a meditative practice that not only connected her to nature but also to her own body. She often walked along the winding paths of the local park, where the trees arched overhead like guardians of her health. The rhythmic sound of her footsteps was a soothing melody, a reminder that movement was a celebration of life. As she walked, she observed the world around her, the children playing, the dogs chasing after frisbees, and the elderly couples hand in hand, sharing stories and laughter. Each encounter filled her heart with warmth, reinforcing her belief that connection, both with nature and community, was vital for a long and fulfilling life. Margaret had learned about the benefits of walking from her late husband, John, who had always emphasized the importance of staying active. He used to say that every step taken was a step toward longevity. After his passing, Margaret found solace in these walks, using them as a way to honor his memory while nurturing her own well-being. She discovered that walking not only strengthened her legs but also kept her heart healthy and her mind sharp. As the seasons changed, so did Margaret's walking routes, each new path offering a different perspective on the beauty of life. In spring, she reveled in the blossoms of cherry trees, their petals dancing in the breeze. Summer brought the vibrant colors of sunflowers, standing tall and proud, mirroring her own resilience. Autumn painted the landscape in rich reds and golds, while winter wrapped everything in a soft blanket of white, inviting her to embrace the chill with a warm scarf and a cup of tea afterward. One day, as she walked her usual route, Margaret noticed a small group practicing yoga in the park. Intrigued, she paused to watch. The participants moved gracefully, their bodies flowing from one pose to another, embodying a sense of calm and strength. The instructor, a young woman with a gentle voice, spoke about the importance of breath and mindfulness, inviting everyone to connect with their inner selves. Inspired, Margaret decided to join the next class. She felt a mix of excitement and apprehension as she unrolled her mat among the younger participants. However, as the class progressed, she discovered that yoga was not about competition or perfection, it was about listening to her body and honoring its limits. With each pose, she felt her muscles stretch and strengthen, her mind quieting down as she focused on her breath. The sun salutation became her favorite sequence, a beautiful dance of movement that awakened her spirit and invigorated her body. Margaret found joy in the stillness of poses like child's pose and the gentle twists that eased tension in her spine. The practice taught her to be present, to appreciate the simplicity of each moment, and to embrace the changes in her body with grace. As the weeks turned into months, Margaret noticed a transformation. Her balance improved, her flexibility increased, and she felt a newfound sense of vitality. The yoga community welcomed her with open arms, and she formed friendships that enriched her life. Together, they shared stories, laughter, and the occasional cup of herbal tea after class, creating bonds that transcended age. One afternoon, while sipping tea with her new friends, Margaret learned about Tai Chi, an ancient Chinese martial art that emphasized slow, flowing movements. Intrigued by the idea of combining mindfulness with gentle exercise, she decided to give it a try. The following week, she found herself in a Tai Chi class, surrounded by a diverse group of individuals, each seeking the same sense of peace and strength. The instructor, an elderly man with a serene demeanor, guided them through the graceful movements. Margaret felt as if she were part of a dance, each motion deliberate and fluid. Tai Chi was unlike anything she had experienced before. It required her to focus on her balance and breath, fostering a deep connection between her mind and body. With each practice, she felt her worries dissipate, replaced by a sense of tranquility that lingered long after the class ended. Margaret soon became enamored with the art of Tai Chi. The slow, deliberate movements not only improved her physical strength but also cultivated a sense of inner peace. She found herself practicing in her backyard, the sun filtering through the leaves as she moved with intention. The world around her faded away, leaving only the rhythm of her breath and the gentle sway of her body. As she continued her journey through walking, yoga, and Tai Chi, Margaret realized that these simple exercises were more than just physical activities, they were a way of life. They connected her to her body, her breath, and the world around her. She learned to appreciate the beauty of aging, understanding that each wrinkle and gray hair told a story of resilience and wisdom. Margaret also became an advocate for healthy living in her community. She organized walking groups, yoga sessions in the park, and Tai Chi demonstrations, encouraging others to embrace the benefits of movement. The response was overwhelming. People of all ages joined her, eager to experience the joy that came from simple exercises. Through her efforts, Margaret fostered a sense of community that extended beyond physical activity. She created a space where individuals could connect, share their stories, and support one another on their wellness journeys. The park became a hub of laughter and camaraderie, with people gathering not only to exercise but also to celebrate life together. One sunny afternoon, as Margaret led a group of enthusiastic walkers, she paused to reflect on her journey. She marveled at how something as simple as walking had transformed her life. It had opened doors to new friendships, introduced her to the calming practice of yoga, and led her to the graceful movements of Tai Chi. Each step she took was a reminder that life was meant to be lived, celebrated, and shared. As the years passed, Margaret continued to embody the principles she had embraced. She remained active, participating in community events and inspiring others to find joy in movement. Her garden flourished, mirroring her own vitality, and she often spent afternoons tending to the flowers, nurturing them as she nurtured her own spirit. On her 80th birthday, Margaret decided to host a celebration in the park, inviting everyone who had joined her on this journey of health and happiness. The sun shone brightly, and laughter filled the air as friends gathered to honor the woman who had brought them together. As she stood before the crowd, surrounded by familiar faces, Margaret spoke about the importance of movement and connection. She shared stories of her walks, the serenity of yoga, and the grace of Tai Chi, encouraging everyone to find their own path to wellness. Her words resonated deeply, igniting a spark of motivation in each person present. That day, they all walked together, a procession of individuals united by a shared commitment to living life fully. They moved in sync, a tapestry of generations woven together by the simple act of walking. Margaret felt a sense of fulfillment that transcended words. She had created a legacy of health, joy, and community that would endure long after she was gone. As twilight descended and the stars began to twinkle overhead, Margaret sat on a bench, reflecting on her journey. She understood that life was not just about the number of years lived but about the quality of those years. Each step, each breath, and each moment of connection had contributed to her vitality and youthfulness. In the heart of Willow Creek, Margaret had discovered the secret to prolonging life. It was not found in elaborate workouts or extreme diets but in the simple, gentle movements that honored her body and spirit. Walking, yoga, and Tai Chi had become her companions on this journey, guiding her toward a life filled with purpose, joy, and connection. As she closed her eyes, feeling the gentle breeze on her face, Margaret knew that her story was far from over. With each new day, she would continue to embrace the beauty of movement, the warmth of community, and the joy of living fully. In her heart, she carried the belief that age was merely a number, and life, with all its wonders, was meant to be cherished and celebrated.